Okay, so mega short update because I can't do anything until the sodding brake pads turn up, and they still haven't turned up. And I put my complaint onto eBay. I realised I was being lazy by not cleaning the pistons from the brakes, so pumped them both out. Very important that do it really carefully because you need them both to come out. It's impossible to get them completely synced, but so they both pop out, but you need to get them both at least wobbly. If you just get one out, then you're going to be trying to pull the other one out, and you can get a specialist tool for it, etc, etc, but just an arse ache, so just be careful. I'm going to see if I can find a before shot off an old video, but actually quite pleased with how well they've turned out. They're not perfect, they should be fine. Right, I'm just going to go and slide them in. Right, not so much a how-to, but more how I do. So I love this clamp, it's awesome. So effectively I've got the older brake pad in there just to keep them level-ish, and then it's really just a case of squeezing them up. You can hear the air being pushed out as they go. Yeah, so keeps them fairly level. Right, so happy they're in and nicely seated. That went in really quite simply actually. Quite tricky to do this with one hand, but it's possible. That's the old brake pad that just popped out there, and hence the noise. So there we go, nicely seated, nicely even. I don't want to ram them all the way in yet. I've given it a bit of a clean round. The actual inside section itself, the chamber I suppose, was absolutely fine, nice and clean. Piston seals, again fine. All I've done is just given those pistons themselves a good rub down. So rub down wise, that is with the classic auto sole. I'm also not really too concerned about using some really fine wet and dry paper, definitely using it wet, just to get the worst of the bits off. And you shouldn't really use abrasives on pistons, but actually, you know, if you're talking sort of 1500 grit, it's essentially no worse than that metal paste either, metal polish. So yeah, a little bit of that, then a load of metal polish on the top, and that's gone in quite nicely. Right, just going to bleed these now. I don't know how the brake, excuse me, bleed nipple is going to come off, if indeed it is. If I have any problems with it, it's not really drama, I can bleed through here, but I'd end up having to replace it because I don't want to sell it on with a broken bleed nipple. But yeah, I'm going to do that now just to get it going. I'm not going to completely bleed it because I need the pads to do that, really, to do it properly, but I can at least get it on a good start. Cool, happy days. Okay, so there we go, it's about as good as I'm going to get or want to get at the moment. So I've got nice clean pistons there. That's the old brake pad in there, just so that I don't get overzealous and just pump them straight back out. Just going to leave that hanging. I'm going to pick up my size 10 because that'll annoy me later if I can't find it. I'm slightly anal about these things, and that's purely and simply because if I'm not organised I'll lose stuff. So yeah, and the old bubble out, mostly surge of that's not water, is it? So I'm just gonna it needs a proper bleed, but I'm just gonna leave it clamped up overnight and let that do its thing. I say overnight until the sodding brake blocks turn up. Yeah, put all the bits back together. Really short one today, slightly screwed over by the dudes that have done the brake pads, or not done the brake pads. It's really annoying because I don't want to slag them off because times are hard, etc, etc. And they're quite a big renowned one as well. But sent them messages, had nothing back. Give them till Monday, then saw some other ones, I think. It's not the expense, it's the waiting. I don't have a lot of time, specifically during the week I don't. Hey, I'm ranting. Right, so I'm going to cover that up. Just stop any dust or crap getting back in. Getting quite good already actually. I'm going to leave it clamped down just to let the oil seep and sort itself out. And cover it up so the dust don't get in it. And that's me. It's all I can do today, I'm afraid. I have ordered new coil, 18 quid. Not ridiculous. I think it's exactly the same actually. I remember seeing the mark. Yeah, exactly the same. So yeah, that should be it by the weekend. So I'm really looking forward to hearing what this sounds like running on all four, because I'm not convinced it ever has, or it has for a long time. Nah, we'll see. Yeah, so get that on, get that working. Hopefully a break will appear at some point or another, and like I say, I just want to bounce around the block just to see how he's going. I'm starting to order and collect all of the paint and spray paint. So mudguard's nice and clear. Also the mudguard's prepped, the sides are prepped. I've got a little bit of arsing around to do with one of them. In fact, let me go and get it. So what we got front mudguards ready to go. So I stripped it down to the bare metal, just because the surfacing on it was a bit rubby. It wasn't too bad on the main bits. Around the edges was quite shagged, so took it all the way down. That's had oh, there we go. That's had some Hammerite smooth on the inside, and it's got a couple of coats of high temperature on there. Not because it needs high temperature, just because Hammerite smooth is really quite glossy. I didn't like the look of the gloss on there. Although you're never going to see it, it wouldn't bug me. So that's there. And what else we got? Right, so got the side panels that have been rubbed down. It's always difficult to prove, but that's lovely and smooth, so ready to go. It was blue once, look at that. Well, certainly that one was anyway. So that one's good to go. There was no problems with that. Where it actually attaches onto the bike, obviously it's got the two spikes. There we go. That kind of like I had to replace on the GPZ, and then obviously the bolt goes through that, and there's a rubber housing grommet thing that goes over the top of that I've kept and put in a safe place. I've just got to remember where that safe place is now. It's in my tool chest. This one was really shagged, so look on the other side. Previous fix has got some plastic on there. Come on, focus. There we go. Like a plastic sheet across there. That was fine and holding it together, except on the top it had all crumbled and died. Come on. Why do you think I'm trying to focus on the ground? Let's try a different background. There we go. It all crumbled and died, so it's just flexing across. So that's some JB World. That's the word I was looking for. God, I got Sunday brain. JB World, not the stick. That's the actual resin onto there. Yeah, in fact, you can see the little bits where it's going in. So what I need to do, I might as well do it now actually, is just open that circle up a little bit so that the rubber grommet will actually fit in it. But yeah, that's come up fine. Doesn't look like that one was blue. Strange. So yeah, they're good to go. So the next few videos up are probably going to start seeing some painting. So I've ordered undercoat black and 2K. Well, is it gloss? Is it sealant? Is it covering? Yeah, so to try and petrol proof the tank a little bit. I haven't stripped the tank yet. I want to get the bike moving before I start stripping the tank. So I want to try all of this, but you know, these are essentially inconsequential pieces, so I don't need them to run the bike around the corner. In fact, I could probably MOT it without it if it got to it. Still need a tyre. Not bitten the bullet and bought that yet. I want to for the, I think it's about 100 and so, dependent, about 150 quid-ish. Probably when fitted. I haven't spoken to any local places because there's no centre stand on the bike. To get the wheel off, I'm gonna have to sling it from the roof again. I don't want to get all these things done and on, but I want to prove to myself that it rides and rides well with 4 cylinders. It starts, stops, brakes, etc. before I chuck a next big wedge of money at it to get it fixed. Yeah. Right, I'm just going to tidy up that circle in the middle there. Right, kind of get to use some widgets here. I've no idea where I got these from. I think it was a little in the middle type thing, but essentially it's little tubes of sandpaper, little adapters for them to go on. Where are we? So the little tubes go on that. It's got a little, well, where's the camera on this? Yeah, it's got a little screw bit there to go in onto the rubber grommet underneath it, that essentially just expands to hold on the sandpaper. Well, that one's ripped, but yeah, so it should be. Here's one I prepared earlier. Blue Peter's got nothing on me. Right, so can get a bit noisy. I think that might do. Proper one, bodge one. Yeah. Look at that. Where's, oh yeah. Perfect. Oh, excuse me. Right, so happy with that. That's now good to go for whenever my paint arrives. And I've got to use a new tool, which is always nice. So just to show you, well, this coronavirus thing's a nightmare. It makes me acutely aware of how often I use my mouth to hold things, like tools and stuff, but hey, it's not as if anyone else is using them. So yeah, I just wanted to show you, see if it will come out. Sod's law, I've got the wrong screwdriver for this, but hey. That's coming out, there we go. Yeah, so it's just a little, so a bit of a tight fit around the tube on, and obviously when you screw that down, it expands it, holds it still. Oh, although that dust is not particularly pleasant. Right, happy. So, I think that's me for the weekend, as far as this is concerned. I'm going to leave that bike sorting itself out, that's all done, that's ready to go, so see you next weekend, hopefully when I've got some sodding brake blocks. Cheers all.